back to the channel. If you're new, my name's Liv, and today we're making a classic midweek meal, a tofu veggie stir fry, but with a bit more of an Asian fusion twist. We're gonna get a little bit of Garam Masala in there, which is gonna change the flavor profile. We're gonna add some zest, some lime. It's just super simple, but with a few little tweaks to make it that much better. So if you're interested to see how we make it, just stay where you are. Starting with a square of extra firm tofu, we're just gonna open it up and squeeze all the excess moisture out of it with a clean tea towel. So depending on what wok you're using to cook this in, this is carbon steel, so we really need to make sure that we heat it up till it's extremely hot before we drop in our oil. And we're using a high smoke point oil, like vegetable oil, before we add in our tofu. So our pan is now on a medium-high heat. We're just gonna rip our pieces up into ununiform chunks. This is really gonna help to give it a lot more texture and make it kind of mimic the look of meat a little bit more. Now we're going to prepare our garlic. We're going in with about 6 or 7 cloves. Do as many or as little as you like. So we're just going to crush that and finely chop. Now, as this has been happening, we've been keeping our tofu moving in our wok. It's been in for about 5 minutes, and you can see there's some lovely color on there. So now we're just going to prepare our king oyster mushrooms. You could use any mushrooms here. Just chop them up into chunky pieces and set them aside. Now our tofu is getting nice and golden brown. It's time to add in a teaspoon of Garam Masala. We're going to give that all a mix to allow it to toast for about 30 seconds before we add in 2 teaspoons of soy sauce. And we're going to move this around quite quickly to make sure every piece is coated. Now we'll take our tofu out and set it aside for a little bit later on. We'll rinse 1 cup of basmati rice, giving the rice a little bit of a wash, popping it into our saucepan and adding double the amount of water. Now we'll give that a stir. We'll wash our Chinese broccoli. Now it may seem like a lot. We've got 2 quite large bunches here, but it will shrivel down. Now we're going to move on to chopping up our ginger. So we'll just slice and then we'll finely chop it, similar to the garlic. Now once our rice has come to a boil, we'll turn the heat onto low and cover it with a lid. We've heated our wok up again, and now we're adding about a tablespoon of vegetable oil this time, and we're going straight in with our oyster mushrooms. So here we've got half a teaspoon of corn flour. We're just going to add 1 tablespoon of water to that. We're going to mix that all up, and this is going to act as kind of like a glue for our garlic to our Chinese broccoli. So you know when you get Chinese takeout or, you know, Chinese broccoli and garlic sauce and it's the garlic's stuck to the veggies? Well, this is gonna create a similar vibe. I actually got this tip from Souped Up Recipes, which is a YouTube channel. So go and check them out. It's actually where this wok is from, and I absolutely love it. So go check out that channel. So here we're just going to add a tablespoon of soy sauce and a tablespoon of maple syrup to our little mixing jug and the juice from half a lime. So this is going to be our sauce for later on. Now we're going to add our Chinese broccoli stalks to our wok, leaving the leaves a little bit later on because they don't require as much cooking. Now after about a minute and a half, we're going to add the rest of our broccoli leaves. And we're going to go in with our sauce. Now back in with our tofu. Mixing it all to combine and leaving that to cook for another couple of minutes. I'm gonna wash about 1/3 of a cup of coriander leaves. And we're gonna add our corn flour mixture to our veggies at the end. So we've turned the heat off and it's still pretty hot. Now we're going to slice our red chilli. Try our best to get our leaves off the coriander. Don't worry if you've got some stalks in there. They're full of flavor, they're delicious, they shouldn't be wasted. Now our rice has been sitting for a couple of minutes after being cooked on low with a lid on for 10 minutes, and you get this perfect fluffy rice. So we'll fluff it up with a fork and pop a little bit in a bowl to serve and top it with our amazing tofu stir fry. All right, time to try our stir fry. It smells so friggin' good. Alright, so we're gonna get some tofu, bit of chili, bit of that king oyster mushroom. It really is such a simple recipe that's just had a few little things added to it just to make it feel more exciting and more flavorful and complex. You've got the tofu with the garam masala and soy sauce that we put on. It gives it almost like a barbecued taste. Then you've got, you know, your classic Chinese takeout style garlic broccoli, which is amazing, with the ginger as well. Then you've got the little bit of coriander. It's a simple meal, but it really is so good. Thank you so much for watching. If you do make this, please drop a comment and let us know. And if you stayed all the way to the end, thank you so much. Please do subscribe if you haven't already. It really does help us out. And see you next time. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye.